fresh. We kind of looked at this already just because we cheated a little bit. But here's our reaction to the AP Top 25. And not really any changes, Brandon. Not really any changes from last week. The biggest thing is Georgia stole a few first-place votes from Alabama.
Oh, that's good.
So Alabama had 59 first-place votes, and Georgia had 3. While we think
two
Georgia,
last week, was it 2 last week?
I think they had 2 last week. But while we think Georgia may be a little bit better than what they're giving them, Alabama's still reigning supreme, even with a close win over Florida.
Okay.
At number 3, we have a little shakeup between 3 and 4 now. Are you ready for this? Oregon is at number 3 officially.
I hear you, Oregon. Mario Cristobal doing that thing out there. All right.
That's a former OC at the University of Alabama, Mario Cristobal.
That's right.
At number 5, no change. We still have Iowa there. Here's where it gets interesting because Clemson is no longer in the top 6.
Okay. Who we got? Penn State?
Penn State at number 6. Texas A&M stays at number 7.
Okay.
The Calzone kid.
Calzone.
Cincinnati remains at number 8. And then Clemson.
I feel like Cincinnati may have got the shaft there. I thought they played a really great game, especially in the second half against Indiana. So maybe they should have at least went up 1, you know. But I know it's kind of tough with all those teams ahead of them. As those teams start losing games, I think Cincinnati's going to edge on them because I don't really see them losing moving forward. So
I think
Notre Dame will probably be the toughest, but is the way Notre Dame's been playing, I think they'll take care of that.
It's that group of 5 thing, man. That they don't really rank them higher than 10 on an average basis. But Cincinnati, they're making a run, dude. They're making a push to really prove that it doesn't matter what the title of your school is, the group of 5, whatever. They're saying, hey, like, we're beating teams that we're not supposed to beat week in and week out. And you're shafting us, man. Penn State jumped 4 spots just from beating Auburn. And they played a team that's supposed to be good in Indiana and beat them. And, like, what else can you do, man? You play the games that are in front of you. You win those games. You win them in convincing fashion. You win them because you're the better team. And
I think if they're able to pull off the win against Notre Dame, especially with other teams probably falling between then and there, that will probably get them in the top 5, maybe at 5. But I think that'll get them up there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. This year has been wild in the first 3 weeks. It's only going to get crazier, man. Only going to get crazier.
All right, so rounding out the top 10, we have Ohio State, who I think should be a little bit lower than what they are. They are not impressive, but who am I to say? Like, they always keep Ohio State right around that top 10, even if they lose a game or 2. Yeah. It's because
they'll have 5 losses. They'll be ranked number 11.
It's the brand, man. They're not going to let them drop too far. At number 11, we have Florida, which kind of a shot at Florida, man. They played the number 1 team in the country.
Played a 2-point game.
Like, held them, dude. Yeah. Almost won that game.
Yeah, I think Florida probably deserves a little bit higher ranking based on that game, but they probably have to win a couple more, at least one more, before they edge on up.
Well, after that, you got Notre Dame at 12. No changes there. Ole Miss jumps 4 spots to number 13, and they are looking better and better every week. Kind of scary.
Yep. They're looking really strong, bro. Really.
At 14, we have Iowa State. They stayed the same. At number 15, having the biggest jump this week is the Brigham Young Cougars. They jumped 8 spots up to number 15 after a big win over Arizona.
I'm going to tell you right now, I've been dead wrong about BYU. They have looked great so far this year. There's a well-coached team. They are playing some lights-out football right now. Hopefully, they'll keep climbing, man. They've done really well. I'm glad to see it.
At number 16, we have another SEC school in the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas?
Arkansas, whatever you want to call them.
I thought you said Arch. I thought you said Arkansas. Anyway, my hearing's all jacked up.
And then at number 17, they're kind of shafting another group of 5 school here in Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
Like
they look pretty good, but we're I guess their competition too is a little bit more hazy for me. They're not playing in Indiana, you know. So
yeah. I mean they played Buffalo this week and only won by 3. But still, like, you play the games that are put in front of you. If you win those games, you win those games. I think if your team is perfect and there's teams with losses ahead of you, it don't matter who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you're obviously doing what you're supposed to do and winning games that you're supposed to win. If you can look at me in the eye and tell me that a 2-1 Iowa State team that lost badly to Iowa is better than a 3-0 Coastal Carolina team, like, it just that doesn't compute in my head, you know. But then again, you know, it's competition, whatever you want to call it, blah blah blah. I don't. It makes no sense. Make it make sense. After Coastal Carolina, we have Wisconsin. Why?
I don't know. I don't even know what they're. I guess they've only lost that one game to Penn State, so
they're 1-1 with a loss to Penn State. I guess that makes sense, but
yeah, well, more is to be seen. I think the AP is probably expecting them to continue to be a competitive team. So I think it's a little early to really make a call on them because they did play a tough game against Penn State, and we saw the Penn State Auburn game. So maybe it's a little early to be judging them too harshly.
After that, at number 19, we have Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines.
You know, I think
not where I would have them.
I think this can only work in the favor of Michigan because I'm assuming that they are getting their rankings because of how poorly they have done over the past several years, especially when they, you know, are ranked. So I think they're getting this Harbaugh factor. You know, it's like, well, you know, Harbaugh's their coach, so like they may have won a few games, but we're not gonna go on and put them up in the top 10 just yet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you're gonna have to beat like 4 ranked teams before we even consider you for the top 10. But that's good because it's gonna give them fire. They're gonna feel disrespected and they're gonna feel like, you know, the committee and the AP is just, you know, kind of trashing on them. So I think it's a good thing for them, and it's probably a good thing for Harbaugh too.
Well, for the first time this year, for the first time in probably 2 or 3 years, we're seeing Michigan State jumping into the top 25 at number 20. So you got Michigan and Michigan State side by side with Wisconsin. Wisconsin, Michigan, Michigan State, they're all like right there in a row. They are looking good though. The Big Ten's coming on strong as to where the ACC's falling off, in my opinion. After that, you have North Carolina hanging around 21. They were 21-22 last week. I mean, they haven't been super impressive. Sam Howell has not done what Sam Howell was supposed to do this year. And then at number 22, we have another previously not ranked team, Fresno State.
All right. I hear you, Fresno.
The only team
playing a close game with Oregon and then beating UCLA will certainly get your name recognized.
I was about to say the only team that's beat them this year has been Oregon, and that was a really close game. It was like a 1 touchdown game, something like that, or 11-point game, something like that. It was close.
And see, here's the difference for me. And everybody was comparing that Oregon and Fresno State game to the Oklahoma and Tulane game. But if you look at the Ole Miss versus Tulane game, it's a very different thing because Ole Miss went in and blew the brakes off of Tulane. As they should have. UCLA, a ranked team, this is a good team. They lost by 3 to Fresno, which says that Fresno is a lot better team than, you know, right. So Oregon didn't have so much of a struggle win as they did. They played a lot better team than people were expecting out of Fresno State. So I'm excited for them, man. I'm loving it.
Yeah, we got after Fresno State, we have that other team in Alabama coming in at number 23, dropping a spot. I don't really see how it don't make sense that Auburn dropped one spot after playing a close game with Penn State.
Yeah,
And then, Fresno State and Michigan State both being unranked the previous week, jumping ahead of them.
Well, especially Fresno State with one loss.
Yeah.
I understand that they did beat a ranked team, but I mean,
but then again, who's Auburn?
I guess they want Auburn to prove that they can beat a ranked team before, and not just somebody's high school, cheerleaders.
I think Auburn and Michigan are getting kind of the same treatment,
Yeah, but it's good. It's good for both of them because it's going to, fire them up.
Yeah, I kind of agree with. I agree with it. I don't agree with it, but I agree with it. I know that's a contradicting statement.
I'm with you.
It's hard to agree. It's hard to make those decisions, man, because I would have Auburn probably ahead of Michigan and Michigan State, and pretty much, I would have Auburn at 18, and then all the rest of those teams kind of down a little bit further because what they proved to me was they were better than these other teams. That's just my opinion, and I'm not saying that because I'm an SEC fan. I actually think that most of the rankings have been really, really spot on. It's just when you get to these last 8 teams, Auburn's better than every single one of them, in my opinion. Like, you put Auburn against Wisconsin, Michigan, Michigan State, North Carolina, Fresno State, UCLA, Kansas State, probably going to mop the floor with them.
I think it would definitely be at least a competitive or close game, if nothing else. I don't think any of those teams are just going to, beat the brakes off of Auburn. So, yeah, but again, the rankings don't always make sense. So
they do not. Well, to round out the top 25, UCLA dropped 11 spots to number 24 with a loss to Fresno. I get it. I don't get it. Whatever. Rounding out the top 25, we have K-State, and they just keep winning.
Good job, K-State.
Keep on winning.
So now that win against Stanford makes Stanford look a whole lot better.
Yep.
Because at first it's like, they lost to K-State. That's lame, And then Stanford goes and they blow USC's doors out of the water. And everybody's like, what is going on? And then now K-State is here 3-0 and in the cracking the top 25. I just don't even know what makes sense anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
is this real life? I don't know.
Well,
it feels like a video game.
We had 3 teams drop out of the top 25, and that was Miami, Arizona State, and Virginia Tech. I get why they all dropped out. They all lost. Miami's not playing good football right now. Arizona State.
Florida State just dropped out of the universe.
Florida State had one good game and then decided, hey, we're stuck.
I feel so bad. I feel so bad for their fans, man, because what is going on with that program? I don't even want to talk about it. It's going to make me sad. I don't want to talk about it.
Anyways, yeah, guys, some teams that I have on the radar that everybody else has on the radar. You got Virginia Tech looking really good week in and week out. You got, even though they lost, right? They lost to West Virginia by a touchdown. Virginia Tech still playing pretty good football. TCU is playing really good football. Liberty's playing really good football. Maryland is on the rise. I'm not saying that Maryland's going to win the Big Ten or anything, but they're playing. They're in contention. My biggest thing is, why didn't West Virginia jump into the top 25?
Well, they're about to, because they're about to beat Oklahoma. So,
Big 12.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it. But we'll get to that in a minute. We get to predictions.
Yeah, save that for the next video. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Kind of, whatever. Like we're flowing with it. This is a really fun video, in my opinion, to do because we get to kind of talk about the top 25. We get to kind of break down what our opinions are. If you could subscribe, share, comment, do whatever you got to do to get us out there. We are South of the Mouth Sports. I am Jeremiah. This is my brother Brandon. if you guys could just, like I said, visit, like, share, subscribe, but also visit our website. Man, we have some merch that just dropped. We have some shirts that we hope you guys will enjoy. Brandon worked really hard on these shirts. I give him all the credit. I am just the face that talks a lot. He's the real brains behind the scenes, man. He does a lot. But anyways, thank you guys so much. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Come back for our next video. We are going to be talking about games next week. We're going to make our predictions. Thank you guys.